Hey guys, welcome back to another Foundry review. We're continuing, and this is the first one for me. We're continuing our Obi-Wan Kenobi series review. We got the whole game. We got Apex, we got Johnny, we got Sly. How's it going? Are you guys ready for this episode?
Hey, what's going on?
Yo. Yeah, I'm ready, dude. I'm excited because I haven't been able to join for the last few.
Yeah, who are you? You're not.
Yeah, where you been? What are you? What is this?
Other stuff, but I'm back
other
for the good
stuff.
episode.
What's better than a?
Yeah, that's on. Yeah.
You know what? if I knew the quality of this show by the time I come out, I would have went on vacation as well to miss these reviews. So I don't blame you. So
made the right choice.
To catch everybody up on the last episodes, you know, we're gonna be doing episode 5 today. Obviously, were you pretty positive or negative towards the first 4 episodes so far?
For me, yeah, I guess I'd be somewhere in between, kind of neutral, generally positive, just because there's the nostalgia there, so I can't. It's hard not to be like have like those, you know, rose-tinted glasses or whatever when I'm watching it. So I would say generally positive, but there's definitely those critiques that I think I probably share with you guys on some of the things, some of the weird CGI, some of the weird like stuff in the first episode with Leia, just some weird decisions, but I feel like, yeah, that they ended up making because they're trying to like really show Obi-Wan's like journey more mentally than physically. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting, but I'm excited to talk about these because I think these get really good in my opinion. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts when we're going through it.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about episode 5. By the end of it, I was like, still like a lot of shit that I'm like, this show is very bad, and there's so many things wrong, and holy shit, I hate Leia with a fucking passion. Sly, find me a ladder. Give me a ladder right now. Give me a ladder.
Honestly,
ladder.
If I give you a ladder, I'd have to give you a noose with it, bro.
For both of us?
Yes.
Yeah. It was a really actually cool scene at the very beginning with the flashback between Obi-Wan, Kenobi, and Anakin. Anakin looked old as fuck, dude. They could have done a little better job making him look like he was from, because that's supposed to be between episode 2 and 3. Yeah.
So like they could have done a bit of a better job, but I liked how that scene was like mirroring what was happening in the episode.
Me too.
Because that's like the proper way to do a flashback, as opposed to like the Book of Boba Fett, where it's just here's a flashback.
And
yeah,
it's the rest of the show.
For filler or something like that.
Yeah. So this one worked out really well, and I thought it was interesting because it's a similar thing happening despite two completely.
It's just a constant theme with Anakin Skywalker is that his rage blinds him throughout the entire Skywalker saga. He's
consistent.
Yeah, yeah, just angry little boy for 45 years. Just that's it. That's all we get from Darth Vader. We finally figured out the true motives of Reva, which was pretty cool, I guess. It kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but yeah, I
mean, we definitely learned, and I can understand why she would feel that way, but at the same time, like, there's also the whole like, why didn't you just fucking leave?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I mean, I kind of figured that was going to happen to some degree because she was definitely shown as like a character from the beginning that's like she can do evil things, but you got a little bit of a hint that like, I don't know, she was like holding back or there was something in her past.
Bro, she was just straight up killing people and cutting people's arms off at the very beginning. What are you talking about, holding back? I say she was like ruthless from the start.
I don't think I wouldn't call her ruthless. I think she's just kind of just like so fixated on Kenobi. Kenobi's her white whale, and it's for all the wrong reasons. I would have rather the show depicted it as like she's resentful of him for training Anakin. I would have preferred that be the plot.
So what we're talking
I want revenge.
Yeah, what we're talking about, apparently Reva was a youngling, and the very first flashback that we saw of Order 66 happening, and that Reva stood by and she pretended to be dead while Anakin killed all the other younglings and stuff. So that's why she wants to bring Kenobi to Vader to kill Vader.
Yep.
I don't know. That's what I think is happening.
I think it's supposed to be more of a cry for help, where it's like, you need to fix this, but since you can't I need you to be a distraction so I can do it myself.
Yeah, and also just like a way to like get in close. Like if I bring him
To distract Vader,
he'll
maybe?
trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
She wants him to be vulnerable.
Well, yeah, and to trust her to some degree.
Yes, exactly.
So that like if she brings him in, he'll be like, "Wow, great, yeah, you can have a great, you could be Grand Inquisitor, and I trust you." To do
No,
things."
she got a promotion at the beginning of the episode, boys.
Oh
She
yeah,
did,
yeah, I know.
she's-
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
like
but
that's
again,
her
this
plan.
is just like her thought process.
Oh well, yeah, yeah, totally.
So like that's what she wanted. She's just waiting for that right opportunity, it seems.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We actually, yeah, we saw a weirdly like annoying amount of refugees randomly at that one base. There was a big siege going on. Leia was annoying as fuck. Give me a ladder. She's terrible. I had a really weird scene with Obi-Wan where he surrendered. Then it cut a few minutes later to where he was back with the rebels. So it's like, did Reva let him go or something like that after she revealed her true plan? And then he like surrendered again. That was like really weird. Like I don't know what the fuck was going on with that timeline.
They got they literally confused themselves on their own like direction of the
I don't
show
know
and
what the
the
fuck
game.
that timeline was. That didn't make any sense to me. She like back. I don't know. It was so weird. Yeah.
Wait, what? Maybe I'm not.
Plot
Yeah.
holes
So like,
galore.
eventually Obi-Wan's like he surrendered to
He
Reva.
surrenders. Yes.
Right, and then Reva, they have the conversation, and then minutes later, he's back with the rebels, running with
Yeah,
them.
Yeah, she releases him.
Why?
She released him on purpose.
What happened? What happened?
Well, we didn't see him.
She releases him into custody, and then he takes out all the troopers. They show that. That's why there's all the bodies on the inside.
Yeah, he kind of convinced her to allow him to go back so that she could take her opportunity to kill Vader. Because, so after their conversation, he kind of convinces her, and that's why she takes him inside the base so that no one else could see, and he would be able to take his opportunity to get back to the rebels, and Darth Vader would end up chasing after him, and she would, eventually fail, but still try.
You say that he convinced her, but it just cut to it.
Yeah.
They just had a conversation, and they kind of opened up to each other, and then it just cut to them like in a completely different area, and just like you said, having to assume that, and I need these things shown to me or implied at least of what's gonna happen. I can't just like assume shit's gonna happen. It's just a weird like little clusterfuck that made me question what was going on there. I thought that was so weird. And like you said, yeah,
I thought it was implied.
It was a little like fast for sure. They really like cut through
for
it.
something that like did not happen or matter at all, or it definitely mattered, but like something that like happened so fast it like even felt very rushed too.
Talking about the little like escape ride.
Yeah, with the random point of
Ice Cube's son.
yes, Ice Cube's son. What's his name? Rick.
Roku.
Roku.
Believer guy.
Roken. Yes.
That's why you kept calling him Roku.
I couldn't remember his name.
Did you tell them what I said?
No, what'd you say?
This is setting up for a spin-off show, Star Wars Roku, a limited series.
I'm watching it.
I really hope not. I don't even want to see
That's
an
all
Andor
that
show.
I see in this when he was like, I have potential as a leader. I'm gonna lead these people till the end. I'm like, he's gonna have a series.
No, I don't think so. I think they're just trying to plant the seeds of the Rebel Alliance. I think. I think that's it. I don't think they're gonna do anything else.
Yeah,
with
do that with a freaking Star Killer show if you're gonna produce shit like this.
He is Acolyte, Ice Cube's son is Acolyte.
Did you guys
Oh my
enjoy?
God.
Did you guys enjoy Leia messing around on wires for a couple minutes? A fucking 10-year-old just yanking
that
out
was
wires.
awful. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Babysitter Haja. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Who
they're trying
dropped
to make...
the fucking thing? That really annoyed the shit out of me.
Oh,
Obi-Wan says,
at the end,
Haja,
yeah.
I need you to fucking take care of her. And he hands him 3 things. And he drops
Lightsaber.
1 of 3 fucking things. And I'm like, how fucking incompetent of a character, like, you have to be in order
Both
to
of
drop
them.
1 of 3 fucking things, dude.
Small items too.
But I think if someone was handing me something, I would definitely notice if they dropped one of the items.
I'd be
well.
so fucking like,
It's
cannot lose this,
serious.
cannot lose this. He's a Jedi
Exactly.
Master. Do not lose the Jedi Master stuff he gave
Yeah.
me. My life
And
depends
I'm
on
just
it.
like a peddler you know, that just use like the Jedi kind of like facade to make my way.
Yeah. That was a really cool fight scene with between Vader and Reva towards the end. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was definitely good. It was well done. I mean, it definitely showed the power imbalance there. That just Vader's like absolutely
Just fucking with
way
her.
stronger than
Just
she
playing
is.
with her.
He's a tank.
And that he knew from the beginning. Like you're
Yep.
like, that's Vader for you.
He
You just
only
noticed something
knew
like that.
I didn't care for so much of the force blocking, but I do like the
she just
toying factor.
yells before she strikes. Like, why do people always do this in Star Wars? They yell
mean, they do
before
it-
attack.
They do it in everything, to be honest. Like most,
Dramatic
I feel
effect.
like most things. Yeah, it's.
She's
he
just-
would have blocked it regardless.
Just
so-
an,
yeah.
She's just an angry piss baby, just like Anakin.
yeah, yeah.
Except,
much.
you know, he had a little different situation. Can we just appreciate the scene where he yoinks down the freaking...
Oh, the ship?
ship
Yeah,
that
that
he
was cool as
pulls the cruiser
fuck.
down, yeah.
That was
was
some
cool,
star
yeah.
killer shit. I was like, I love it. And then just
That was
freaking
really
ripping it open like a soda can. I was like, my man.
It
And then
looked a
10
little
Like, we have a
wonky.
second ship.
It did.
And then 10 seconds
Yeah,
later,
he used all of his stamina, man. Yeah.
just 10 seconds later, he just lets it go. Doesn't even try. He's like, I'm knackered.
would've-
Not for me.
It would have looked better if like he tried to reach for the second one and then Reva
Couldn't.
attacked him.
Oh, yeah,
Or-
just that.
They literally could have done that, but no. Instead, he's just like, well, shit, I gotta recharge. Oh, hey, my apprentice that I'm going to, you know, try to murder in a second. Yeah.
Apprentice, sure.
And then the Grand Inquisitor
know,
came
yeah.
back, and that was cool. I like him. I like him a whole
Yeah.
lot.
Revenge does works for the will to live, doesn't it?
How ironic for your character currently.
Yeah. Twice in a row, eh?
Man, imagine all those years training underneath Darth Vader for the Sith and everything like that, and they're just like, yeah, we knew. Yeah, goober.
He's like,
You
remember
idiot."
being a little Padawan bitch?
Back to the gutter, bitch.
And then at the end of the episode, they found the thing that Haja dropped, and it was Bail Organa talking about Obi-Wan. He's like, oh, the boy on Tatooine, blah, blah, blah. And they she just put 2 and 2 together, you know, obviously, so easily, you know, all the breadcrumbs.
Dropped Owen, too, and it's like...
I did like the display of Vader kind of being like just toying with her whenever
Mhm.
like after the Force shit, whenever he stopped her saber and then snapped it in half and was like, here, take a half. Let's see how you are with like actual saber to saber combat. And then he took her saber back and was like, okay, you know, it's, it's done. I'm done with you. That's all I
It wasn't even worth his own lightsaber. He was just kind of like, hey, you're not
Exactly.
worth the effort. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this was fun. Okay, but I really feel like they missed the opportunity to do like a Dooku callback where I really want when
Thought
he
that
has
was
the
gonna
2
happen.
sabers.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
what I
too.
thought was gonna happen. I thought we were gonna have a Dooku callback where he beheaded her, and
That
I
would've
feel like
been
that was
great.
kind of a wasted opportunity.
Dude, I
with
wanted
all
her.
the callbacks they have in this show. You know,
I wanted her to die so much in this episode.
So did
I
I.
wanted to
And,
die
then,
this entire season.
and like you said, the whole thing, or I think maybe Ken said it, where she finds the audio recording. That's when I was like, "Are you for real? I don't want her to keep."
I know, it's
She's
like,
alive,
really?
for real.
Like, we're gonna continue this thing with Reva? Like, I get
They
she's...
should have started the 5th episode with her on the ground finding that tape. I didn't need to know that she was gonna live. You know, it just kind of took the episode, the whole cool finale, and ruined it by being like, "Nah, she's alive. All right, whatever."
Yeah, I guess just it wasn't worth Darth Vader's effort to finish her off or finish killing her or something like that, I guess.
Or the Inquisitor, you know, who she tried killing. You know, you didn't think he would be like, "I'm gonna kill you." You know, like
He's
fuck
only
you.
killed like one person in the entire show. He killed Flea. That's it.
Yeah,
killed-
You're right.
Yeah. I would like
He
to
couldn't
see...
even kill like the bar Jedi.
Yeah, I was really annoyed. I wish there was more like rebel fights. You could see like the Empire actually being powerful. It's like, yes, of course we know we've seen loads of Star Wars stuff where like the Empire is very powerful, Sith Lords are very powerful. Anyone with a red lightsaber will fuck anybody up, you know. But it's like, come on, man, like let us see a little bit of something. We like there was no
Right.
other brothers, no other sisters in this episode. Like let us see some combat. Like show these characters up and build them up, you know. Because eventually they're going to get torn down. Like Reva, they eventually had to tear down, but at what point did they build her up? Where she killed a couple, like, civilians, farmhands and stuff. you know, to prove a point in episode 1 or something. But like other than that, what has she done? Like that's been so cool.
For such like a almost like a fascist government that they portray the Empire to be. We don't see them doing much, but kind of like goofing off and being cartoony villains.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like they're just like, oh, we're stealing some oil. Like, oh no. Like, oh, we're killing some Jedi.
We're stealing.
The worst thing they do.
We're stealing.
They killed like one fucking Jedi the whole series.
We're stealing a transport of 40 cakes. You know, that's a lot of cakes. Like
exactly. They're just like doing goofy petty crimes. Like, we just robbed a gas station. Good job, Empire.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to see like more like I think the Empire is kind of cool. I'm not a sympathizer of the Empire, okay, but I think they're pretty cool. I would like to see them do cool things like murder people.
Some good uniforms.
I just would like to see them like kill some people. I like Darth Vader. He's cool. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, it was cool seeing him fuck up Reva and stuff, but like not even that full power, man. It's like it's 2022. Like let us see some dope shit, man. Not even like in the original trilogy, you get to see like Vader doing like a lot of cool stuff. Everyone's down to see more. But like with the special effects that they could be doing right now, like we could have a grand old fight, you know, with different characters and stuff. But it's just like so teasing. Everything feels so half-cocked and just it feels like it's a CW show at times where it's just
this
like
show felt very low budget.
Exactly. When I feel like it shouldn't.
I've said that numerous times, like from the editing, snap cuts, the way that like the characters, like the makeup sometimes even
Yeah, it's the
so
practicals, man.
Makeup.
Even like Hayden Christensen looked like he was fucking 40 years old in this fucking movie,
Yeah,
dude.
he looked
He's supposed to be
Yeah.
he's supposed to look like he's 17 or 16, or like he's supposed to look pretty young, I'm pretty sure, in this.
Yeah, this is the same company that has de-aged tons of other actors in all sorts of other films and like made it look like legit.
Built dead people.
Faked Luke Skywalker. That's like, you know.
And they
he's
couldn't
like
just,
50
you know,
fucking years younger than
fix
he
a
is
few
actually.
lines. Unbelievable, man.
And yeah, it's just cheek wrinkles. That's all it is.
That's what I just could not stop staring at that. I was just like, man, he looks old. No, but that was a really cool point. I really like that. Like you said, Ken, like how it like it represented what was actually happening in the episode between like their actual like rising action with the combat and the situation was like getting heavier and harder and just kind of like getting hot, you know. The same thing was happening in their little training session.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
very good. I liked that a lot. But enough of you know, everyone taking their shit. Ken, praises for the episode. Did you have any specific praises that you wanted to talk about or combat anyone else's opinion that you or you think one was being too hard or critiquing too hard on?
I mean, you can't praise something that's not good.
Well, Apex said it,
Well,
actually.
with that attitude. No, there's definitely still some good stuff in there. I agree with a lot of like what you guys are saying for sure. There are times where it definitely feels low budget. I mean, I think in a lot of cases, I think there's just a weird dissonance between what people expected from the series and what the series is actually focusing on. Whereas like a lot of people expect there to be a lot of crazy action and cool stuff and just like a lot of special effects. Clearly the creators were going in more of a creative and emotional journey, which doesn't necessarily entail all of the action that you'd kind of expect from a Star Wars thing.
That's
So
a very
there's-
good point.
So like I could see why like I can appreciate what they're trying to do, but I would also appreciate if they put a little more action in it. Like if they included
I mean, this
some
one
of
has
those
more
cool
action
things.
than the past like fucking 4 episodes put together.
So
Yeah, so it like kind of makes sense with what Obi-Wan is going through, from like I failed, thinking one of his like
best
most
friends.
beloved friends is dead because he killed him and he led him down the wrong path, to like kind of getting back into it and realizing there is still hope. Like there's a lot that he's going through in these episodes, and yeah.
To retort what you said about like some people think it's expected to be an action show, like more action in it and stuff. But I mean, like, where, like, if it's supposed to be a heavy drama, where is the heavy drama and where's the convincing acting and the convincing dialogue and like the story? Like,
And if you mention Leia's name, I swear to fucking God.
he swears to fucking God, Ken. No, I'm just saying, like, if they don't want us,
A Bible.
if they don't expect to shine on the fighting, like then what else is there to shine? Like what? Like what is there? What do they pride themselves on?
I'm not saying that they necessarily did a good job. I'm
Yeah,
saying that's the direction
Some
they were
people,
going.
yeah, some people. Yeah, I was just saying
like they clearly had some key moments that they were trying to go after, and some of the stuff they just like filled the details in between with whatever made the most sense to get to that next important thing in some places. And so yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of it's definitely not quite what I expected, but it's yeah, I don't think it's like too bad.
As a whole,
I just wish it was better.
Yes, I agree, which is a lot better too. As a whole series, I like the idea of that Obi-Wan is running from Darth Vader. He's on the run. Like that sounds really cool, and you like
Yeah,
like
the
if
premise is cool. It's just the execution is fucking awful.
yeah,
I feel like there really is no other way they could have ran the show except for I heard a lot of people like expecting like a Darth Maul type thing, you know. Like other than that, like it makes sense that they would involve a story with the kids, since like that's what is like, you know, the last time we saw Obi-Wan in episode 3, like between 3 and 4, like that's what he does. He protects Luke, and I guess it's like in a way that would also tie in with Leia, but like fucking Apex said, it's more the execution of what they did with like his involvement with the kids rather than what we got, which is fucking 5-head like know-it-all 10-year-old.
Yep. Yeah, should be reading a lot of books, a lot of knowledge in the big head.
I still think they could have made her the exact same character, but they didn't need to do certain things. There's just so many moments where like she can be headstrong, she can be adamant on, you know, like her personality. They can make her a very strong character, but the problem is she's 10. So you gotta make it. You gotta like really make it well. If you don't do it well, then the character just turns into this like really sassy 10-year-old, and it's just like it's excruciating.
It's a very
because
unlikable.
Also, this 10-year-old is apparently like smart enough to fucking like fucking solder and rewire machinery and stuff. It's like I'm sorry. When did you learn this? When you were climbing trees?
It's really hard to like. You want your main character to be a likable character. You want to be able to like them and support them. It's like, oh yes, I want Obi-Wan to rescue Leia and get her away from the evil people, but she's so annoying, I don't even care about that. I just want her out of the way because I don't like being exposed to her anymore because she's just really annoying in some scenes.
With her being not as dominant of a character in this episode,
it's very good.
Because I'll be honest, she wasn't as like shown. There was a lot of other stuff in this episode.
Ladders and shit, yeah.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that there was just other things that were happening, it really helped the pacing of the episode.
I feel like I
cannot tell you how excruciating it is when every other scene is us just like sitting there watching her, you know, be the sassy 10-year-old. It's like I want more in my Star Wars like media, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that one. I was gonna say that I really enjoyed the Obi-Wan trying to talk down Reva, and he's just always goes for a diplomatic solution. You know, he just tries to get people to open up their hearts and open up their mind a little bit, you know, and just like
and kill Darth Vader for him.
Well, I mean, if she was dead set on it and she's gonna go the Sith route, I mean, he might as well use that.
I think he was of course it would be nice if the show showed this. But I think, and maybe in Obi-Wan's mind, he was trying to think like Reva would be the perfect distraction to save all these people here on this planet, all the refugees.
I mean, that was kind of implied based on that whole fight that we were talking about. In the fight, he says there's other ways to win a fight.
Yeah.
And so that was his other way of winning the fight. So I think that's how those two, like the physical fight of him and Anakin in the flashback, and how this whole scene was playing out, was he was finding that other way to win besides just diving right in and trying to head first go into combat and try to fight everyone.
Yeah, throw someone else at him.
I guess I just didn't see the comparison with that part aspect.
I can see the comparison of that. Like, you just have to like be smart enough to, you know, not attack a problem head on.
Oh,
you need
yeah,
to...
I get that. Like, he means that, like, by that metaphor means like, hey, like, don't just rush into stuff like everything that you do, Anakin. But like,
yeah.
I just didn't see what he meant by like with the inclusion of like Reva, of like using Reva like to save the people. But like you said, it's
Yeah, she doesn't have to be the catalyst to get the point across. I get what you're
that
saying.
I just. But that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm glad the show. If the show did that on purpose, good job. That's what I'm saying. If they did it on purpose, good job. Yeah, I don't want to give credit to
I
them.
don't think so though, because like they would show us that. Like I said, like sometimes I feel like I give them too much credit, and it's just
I don't know.
more
I don't know.
theorizing than actually giving them credit. Because you're like, well, it would have been nice they showed us that. I'm like, you're right. You're like, yeah, maybe I'm just like fanboying more than actually like.
Yeah, it's like I just know so much about these.
Value it is, you know.
Yeah, like I know so much about Star Wars and these characters and their personalities. I'm like, oh well, they did this for this, obviously, and it's just like, or they forgot to write it in, or were too lazy to, you know.
Yeah, like it ain't as deep as maybe we make it seem, just because we like it.
I mean, that's possible, but
Yeah.
at the same time, those kind of like issues with conveyance, that is either a pacing issue or an editing issue.
No,
So
but
if it's there, then that's just an editing issue. If it's not there, then it's a conveyance issue.
well,
Or the writing. I mean, not only did they.
But that's
bring
still a
back lot of
conveyance
tropes
issue.
from
It's the same thing.
prequel,
If it's not
just
written in,
the
then it's
shitty
more
writing
conveyance.
is also from the prequels, you know.
oh yeah, there you go. They're staying on theme with the prequels, exactly. There you go. That's not the fanboy talking, obviously.
No, it's definitely not.
No, it's terrible writing.
I mean, this show has a completely different feeling than the prequels.
I was being
so.
so sarcastic.
Yeah. It's CW prequels, you know. Misa don't like it.
All right, so you want to give us some numbers, boys?
I'd give this one like a 7 or 7.5.
I was gonna say 7 as well.
Yeah.
I say
I'll
7.
give it a 7.
That all seems so
Could've been
generous
8.
based on your guys' just like
It is.
actual talking about it. I
It
was
could've
expecting
been an
5s
8.
and 6.
I think just the ending where it's just like the reveal that Reva doesn't die. That is what ruins it for me. That should have been the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah, like I said, like seeing less of Leia, like made me very happy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like having it spaced out more, where more stuff is happening in between when you see her, makes the doses of her on screen more bearable.
Man,
Less is
but
more.
I don't think she's in particular like a terrible actress, but she belongs on like the Fuller House reboot, not on this show. You know, like she's like a sitcom actress. She's not like serious space epic actress.
talking about-
Well, they
I have
also
no idea.
that's also very like that's also you're being hypercritical because maybe they want her to be that way.
Why is this show about like a character that's so damaged and like has such like a dark backstory?
But I mean,
Why
like,
did they decide to pitch in a light child? Why the fuck is there like a child cracking jokes in the middle of this series about like a damaged ass character that's being hunted by like this like dark force?
I
you know?
don't
feel like it's
know,
so out
but
of place.
they have such weird, like, comical, like, just shoehorn shit in stuff now.
Yeah, it's
Like,
Could-
even-
I mean, you could be
it's
right, but
weird.
it also could be the way that they intended the character to be.
I think
don't know.
I honestly think that it was just shoehorned comical shit in.
I think a
It's
lot of the
shoehorny.
stuff was shoehorned. They didn't really have a
It's
legitimate
very
explanation for a
shoehorny.
lot of characters being written in, which is why there's so much that we have to try and connect the dots with, and it feels so lackluster.
Which we totally didn't
So, like-
mention the death of Loaderbot.
Oh no!
Yeah, or the other
guy
girl.
in the suit.
And
Yeah,
the
the
first
Imperial.
person in Star Wars to bleed from the stomach due to a blaster bolt.
bleed.
Huh.
Yeah, that's something that
That
I immediately
pissed
saw.
me
I was like, that's
off.
amazing how like a laser burn would have you bleed to death.
So, Ken,
I
can I... All right, everyone, I want to talk to Ken, like, just face to face here. So,
one-on-one.
when you saw Loaderbot for the very first time, did you think that there was a possibility that there was a man inside of that Loaderbot?
Yes.
What you mean, like in world or like
In
just, like-
world.
No.
Did you think that there was a man pretending to be a Loaderbot, but that I was actually working for the rebels? Did you think that, maybe?
No, I thought it was a
Why
robot.
not,
What do you
you
mean?
dumb bastard?
Do you think it'd be do you think it was a possibility that the rebels could have put a man inside of a loader bot to trick the Empire?
We can build him strong.
Why would they do that? That would be silly.
That was exactly
million
that was
credits.
exactly what I
Motor
said, Ken. I was like, no, it was just a robot.
I thought.
Now you
it was
guys
just
are
the
thinking
wrench
too much
scene,
about it.
Bro. It was just the wrench scene. That's it. I thought that's what they were
Hey,
insinuating.
I'm not making fun of you or anything like that. I just wanted to get Ken's opinion on it. I was being very
I'm just
clear.
like, where's Disney gonna go?
You gotta
with
have an
this?
opinion.
That's all I was thinking.
That's funny.
That's you diving way too deep in.
Well, oh Lord. Well, yeah, I was watching a video on it, and someone's like, "It's obviously a clone trooper from this series in it," and I'm like,
Okay, that sounds a little out there, honestly.
and I'm like,
Close it down.
they're like, "Oh, it's Quinlan Voss because he was mentioned in the episode as well," and I'm
Oh,
like, "What the
jeez.
fuck, dude?"
Yeah, totally.
Quinlan Voss loader bot.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah. So what are we giving this, Ken? You never give us a number.
I mean, I'd probably give it an 8.
An 8.
Oh, an 8.
What do we want to do? 7.5 then?
I mean, you guys all said
fair.
7, so like basically a 7.
I would say
It's
7 to 7.5 because I said 7 or 7.5.
Alright.
I'd say 7.5 is fair.
7.5, closer to a 7 than an 8.
All right, 7.5, guys.
Because Tony says so.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Close math.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Another Obi-Wan episode. Appreciate everyone popping in. Ken, it's lovely to have you here, buddy.
Good to
It was
be back.
yeah, it was a good time. Appreciate everyone popping in, enjoying the series just like us. But we'll see you guys later on the next Obi-Wan video. But until then, bye, you guys.
Peace out.
And Goob, yay.
Boy.
See ya.